Welcome to the Villa Park Television Studio. I'm Kyle Smith, and I'm with some fine young gentlemen today, the Renegades Hockey Club. And the Renegades Hockey Club is a group of fine young gentlemen, and they are from Addison Trail, Willowbrook, Fenton, and Montini. And we're going to have them talk about where they're from and how they talk about the hockey club. Let's start from the far right. We got Anthony Sommesi. He's a center, and he's a senior from the rival of Willowbrook, Addison Trail. But, like I've said, all four high schools combined to have a high school club that are called the Renegades. And so Anthony, as a senior, is going to talk about his time with the club and what his time with the Renegades means to him. So Anthony, you have the floor.
I started playing for the Renegades when I was a sophomore. It's been really fun. I mean, I played travel hockey my whole life, but ever since high school hockey started, it's been quite a change. It seems actually more fun to me because everybody from your school comes out and watches you. It's a real cool experience. I think we're getting bigger as a club, as in fan base, ever since last season, because we made quite a deep run in playoffs. And I think by the end of this year, we'll be really recognized by all of our schools.
And like I've said before, Anthony is a senior at Addison Trail. Anthony, I hope you're not suffering from any senioritis yet.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? Just wait till April comes around. It's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
And we've got Alex Wosilus. He's a defenseman, sophomore, a youngling. Alex, talk about your small contribution to the club. Of course, you're a sophomore, so you got a couple more years to go before you graduate.
So I started playing last year as a freshman on JV, and I played travel hockey my whole life too, and it's been really fun. I like high school a lot better. It's a lot more fun, more fans, like Anthony said, and just enjoy it more.
What does the Renegades mean to you as playing high school hockey versus playing travel? How awesome is that to represent? I mean, you don't represent Willowbrook High School, but you represent four high schools. That must be pretty cool.
It is, sure is.
And we've got Lucas Trojanowski between the pipes, the varsity goalie. Talk about what it's like to play varsity hockey between the pipes.
This is my first year playing varsity, and it's fast, it's competitive, it's a lot of fun. Started out playing with the Renegades freshman year, and this is I've only played one game at varsity, but it was moving fast, it was high pace, really fun to play.
And back to you, Alex. You talked about travel hockey. People that are watching this show probably know about travel baseball, but how does travel hockey different from travel baseball? How expensive is it, or just what is it like playing travel hockey versus playing high school?
It's really expensive, like $8,000 to play good if you want to go somewhere, and probably a lot different than travel baseball.
And what kind of places have you traveled to when you used to play travel hockey?
Traveled like to Bloomington, Notre Dame, Indiana, South Bend, there.
Notre Dame, Indiana. Did you happen to see the campus while you were in the town?
Yeah, we played at the rink.
Oh my goodness, that's just awesome. But that's great that you're from Willowbrook. We got a local kid today representing the show today, and now we got Nick Lemke, an exceptional kid. We'll get to that in a couple minutes here. But a defenseman, he's a junior. Talk about the Renegades Hockey Club.
I started playing for the Renegades freshman year. Took a year off to do wrestling, try to gain some weight, but it didn't really work out. Didn't really like wrestling, so I came back to this. Enjoyed it a lot more.
And you're a defenseman. You work on the penalty kill a lot.
Every now and then, not too much, but every now and then. So.
Thanks a lot, Nick. And then we're with Ron Bailey. He is the junior varsity head coach, and he also assists with the varsity team. That's why he's here today. So, Ron, talk about what you do with the JV team and your kind of duties with the varsity team.
Well, I'm the head coach of the JV team. I coach that team, and I also assist with Coach Matt Benton. He's the varsity head coach, and I work with his team in games and things like that. When we practice, we're actually split, so I actually coach the JV team while Matt coaches the varsity team. Sorry. We have a great group of boys this year. We're looking forward to getting the season going and going pretty far in it. Other than that, this is just good season kickoff here.
So what kind of teams do the Renegades play? I know it's a little different than a regular IHSA football schedule. So what kind of teams do the Renegades play, and what is that atmosphere like when you're playing high school Illinois hockey?
Well, we are in a combined league, so we play a lot of schools around the area. We do play a lot of teams far out from here, but generally the competition is pretty good, and yeah, not too sure.
And like we talked about, 4 high schools combining to have one team for practices, and of course, the hockey rinks are not at the high school. So does that kind of create problems when you're trying to have practices and they have to be late at night because ice time is kind of hard to get? So just talk about that and how practices are different from, say, basketball and football.
Yes, absolutely. With hockey, I mean, they give the ice slots to the younger kids that are at earlier times, so the high school kids get the later ice slots, and yeah, I mean, it keeps them out pretty late. So there's a lot of time that's consumed with the hockey. And with being combined, these kids are coming from multiple towns all over, so there's a lot of time spent in travel with that.
As we talked about earlier, you're the JV head coach. What do you tell your boys to try to get them ready to varsity when they become juniors and seniors?
Well, I mean, they need to just put in the effort to try and work on their skills and things like that, and also their discipline and respect for the sport in order to be moved up to a higher level of hockey.
And we've got Nick Modas. He's a right wing junior from Addison Trail, and some of your teammates are from Willowbrook. So is there kind of jokes inside the locker room about, hey, we're supposed to be rivals. Why are we on the same team?
Never really get a lot of those jokes in the locker room.
Thank you, Nick. No, just kidding. But it's really interesting, though.
Yeah.
Addison Trail and Willowbrook, they're supposed to be rivals. They're from the same high school district, but then you guys are on the same team. So you guys have this team chemistry. There isn't any problems with that from everybody's from a different high. I mean, a lot of the players, I mean, everybody's from, they combined for 4 high schools. So it doesn't create problems, though, in the locker room, and you guys just have a really good unit as a team?
I mean, not really. Like, I grew up playing with a lot of these guys, so I'm pretty good friends with them. And I mean, the high school rivalry doesn't really make a difference between us while we play.
Well, that's great. You know, I always thought about that when I was researching the club, how Addison Trail and Montini and Fenton, they're all one team, but it just doesn't affect you guys, and that's just awesome. And I hope you guys have a great year, definitely. And as a right wing, how is that position different from left wing? You know, talking to the people of the show today that aren't necessarily that experienced with the game of hockey.
Well, it is on the whole other side of the ice. So, I mean, I guess that plays in the side, with which way you shoot. Like, if you're a lefty or righty, I'm a lefty, so it's more to my side of the shot, so it's an easier shot to get off. But, yeah, I guess it's all preference.
And we got Joey Eltman, also a right wing. He's from Fenton. Talk about what it's like playing high school hockey, and if you talk about the team a lot when you're in class with your peers at Fenton.
Well, at Fenton, we don't really have that much of a big hockey fan base at Fenton. But to see a bunch of the guys that I play with, it's real fun to, I guess, talk to the guys that are at Fenton about it, and some of the people that actually do care about hockey at Fenton about it. So, I mean, it's a good feeling.
So, do you play any other sports at Fenton? What do you like to do outside of class besides playing hockey, or if you thought about maybe doing something cool next season?
Well, this year I did play baseball for our Fenton team. I was on the freshman team. I mean, it was fun, but, I mean, I don't know. I like hockey better.
Oh, great. Great big hockey fan this year. Blackhawks going to win the Stanley Cup.
I'm hoping so.
Hoping so. One game away in that Western Conference Finals, just wasn't able to pull it up against the Los Angeles Kings. And now we got Lucas Kelly, a senior. I sure hope you're not suffering from senioritis yet.
No, of course not.
All set for college?
Yeah.
All right. Where are you going?
Actually, my top choice right now is Iowa, but I don't know for sure yet because acceptance hasn't been sent in yet. So, but I'm hoping. Got my fingers crossed.
Big Ten pride, Iowa Hawkeyes, great choice. Can't go wrong with any school in the Big Ten, in my opinion. And Lucas Kelly, you're a senior. How long have you been playing for the Renegades?
I've been playing all 4 years for the Renegades.
And what does that mean to you as a guy just playing 4 years of high school hockey? Just gonna remember it the rest of your life?
Yeah, it means a lot because I've gone through I think 3 different coaches on this team, but still with the same core group of kids. And I play with Joey and I go to school with him too. And like he said, there's not a lot of kids at Fenton that play or even know about our hockey team. But since we've our past couple of seasons, we've been going pretty far in the playoffs. So I've been seeing some kids from our school there, which is pretty cool, getting awareness out.
Does it ever get to you that your friends probably are football players and basketball players, and they have their stadium and their arena right on campus, and then you got to drive after school to go to practice? Does it ever get to you at all?
Yeah, a little bit, especially like we were talking about earlier with the ice slots. It's always super late ice slots, so it's always different. I mean, I always think about, because the football players just right after school, practice. It's right there, but I'm used to it now. 4 years, it's worth it. So.
Gonna play any hockey in college?
I'm thinking about just playing club hockey in college. Focus on school, also, because you can't fail out.
Please don't, because college isn't necessarily cheap.
Yeah,
so please
exactly,
don't fail out.
exactly.
Quick question here: what's club hockey like in college versus a regular intercollegiate team?
It's just more like laid back. It's not It's also not for school either. It's just more kind of fun. Don't have to spend as much time. You can focus more on working in school and other stuff.
And the last but not least, the left wing, the only left wing we have today, Sam Newling, a senior from local Willowbrook. And Sam, just talk a little bit about your time with the Renegades.
I've been playing for 3 years for them. I played travel hockey all my life too. I don't know, playing high school hockey is, I think, is a lot better than playing travel. It's just more with the fans. There's more fans. You get to play with people from your school, which is a lot funner than playing just travel.
And Sam, you're from Willowbrook, local school, Villa Park. Willowbrook actually right down the street from this studio. Do people ever ask you about the Renegades, and what do you tell them when you're in class with your peers?
No one really asks, but if they do, I just say we're a combined team. No one really knows about us. Yeah.
Let's talk about your playing, Sam. Are you? Do you have a nice slap shot? Get it past the keeper a lot, or are you more of kind of a finesse player, try to deke around and score goals?
More finesse player.
More of a finesse player. All right, that's it for the team. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to go to head coach Matt Benton, and he's going to talk about the varsity team. You're watching a live broadcast of the Renegades Hockey Club here at Television Villa Park Style.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back. We're talking about the Renegades Hockey Club, and now we're with head coach Matt Benton. Glad to see you today, Matt.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. And you're the head coach of the varsity team, so you've been there a couple years. What kind of drills do you guys do in practices?
Very high tempo, fast paced flow drills. We want to keep the kids moving, a lot of physical play. We get into some technical stuff too once in a while, but that's for later in the season.
How important is endurance to a team, especially at the varsity level?
Oh, it's extremely important, especially, they're going out there exerting their bodies as much as they can for 30 seconds and getting off. That's a big deal.
And off-ice conditioning is a big deal. So why don't you talk about the kind of stuff that you guys do off the ice to try to have that endurance, and last couple minutes you're down by 1 goal. You have more endurance than the other team. How important is that? You were talking about it a little bit earlier. Just what kind of drills do you guys do off the ice for off-ice conditioning?
Well, we do a lot of plyometric type stuff, running. That's about it. That's really all they need at this level.
Weightlifting at all?
That's on them in school to do that, or on their own. We don't have a weight facility to where we can go into and start doing that, so they do it on their own.
A couple of the players talked about a couple of the teams that they play, and we talked about it during the break, that a lot of clubs that are near you, Wheaton West, that's a combined team of Wheaton Warrenville South, Wheaton North, St. Francis, etc. Glenbard, the entire Glenbard schools, and nearby York High School. Those guys aren't in your division. You guys do a lot of driving. It's a little bit of adversity. Does it ever get on you or your players at all about you got to go all the way to Juliet Catholic to play a game?
No, I don't think so. They're just excited to be out there and play.
That's just great, and it's all individual paying for yourself for gas. It's not a team bus, but that's just really awesome that you guys you just love hockey so much that you're willing to drive as far as Juliet, or we talked about Kankakee.
Right.
Can you talk about a little bit what that was like, if you drove down to Kankakee at all, or just somewhere really far, what that was like as a team atmosphere for your varsity team?
Yeah, I mean, we just hop in the car, hop on the highway, and go there. That's about it.
Just not a problem.
Sure. They're all used to
never
it
gets
from playing,
frustrating.
from playing travel hockey. They're all used to it their whole lives.
And we talked about earlier, just once again, people watching this show, travel hockey. What's that like? What kind of hockey is that? How does that get you ready for high school?
I mean, it's definitely fast paced. It's not like in a house league. Definitely gets you out. You travel all over the place, and it's just a very competitive style of hockey.
Where has your team traveled? Any cool tournaments that you guys did last year or the year before that?
We were in the Dells for high school last year. And we're going back to Wisconsin. We're going to Madison this year. So that's probably the farthest we're going to go.
And just talk about your background with coaching. 2 years with the Renegades, and then before that, used to coach the Admirals, which is a travel hockey club out of Glen Ellen, the center ice of DePage's, where they play their home games. And just talk about the game of hockey, what you used to do, where you used to play, and just why you love it so much. I know you talked about in the break that you're a store manager at Total Hockey, so you work at a hockey store, you coach hockey on the side. Just talk about how much you love hockey and your background with the game.
Background, I grew up playing in Glen Ellen until I moved away to play a little bit of junior hockey. Came back, played at Robert Morris University here in Chicago, and now coaching these fine gentlemen, and also the Admirals over at Glen Ellen. I'm still there doing a travel team. That's about it for my background.
Great. And what position did you play in hockey?
I played center.
You were a center, all right. The big man on campus.
I guess.
Score a lot of goals, kill penalties. Stay out of the penalty box, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You in the penalty box a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's not good. 2 minutes in the box or 5 minutes for... Not good.
Yeah.
Was your coach ever mad at you about those penalties you committed?
No.
No?
No.
All right, well, that's good. But and so I wanted to talk about the Blackhawk Cup. People that don't really know high school hockey, but they'll see it on Comcast Sportsnet. New Trier's playing Glenbrook North, but that's a championship game. That's what's shown on TV. But behind the scenes, there's a whole big playoff system. Why don't you talk about the Blackhawk Cup and just how that works for high school hockey, including your club, the Renegades?
It's pretty much just a giant state tournament. You go through the seeding rounds and all that in the beginning, and if you make it to the championship, you're at the United Center.
And different from football, it's all, if you make the playoffs, you make the playoffs. But actually, with these combined teams, as we talked about in the break, is that you have to sign up to be part of this. So,
right.
And that's pretty interesting, yeah?
Yeah,
just to sign up to make the playoffs? And
sure, yeah. It's a business. They want their money too, so of course you got to sign up.
Does it ever get to you how much more it is than just being a football or a basketball sport where it's $90 and you play for your school, where hockey is just so much money for ice time and individual expenses like gas and stuff like that?
Yeah, what a lot of people got to understand is to maintain the ice in a building and a facility like that costs a lot of money. So it's not going to just be $90 like cutting some grass on a field or painting it.
What is your favorite arena to play at in the state of Illinois?
At home, Bensenville.
Awesome, just awesome. Great ice, and the Chicago Steel play there, correct?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's Junior A hockey. If you guys want to check out the Chicago Steel's games, and let's talk about some goals for the Renegades this season. Idealistic ones. We know you want to win the state title, but let's realistic ones. Where do you see this team this year? How far can they go in the playoffs?
I'm totally confident they can go deep in the playoffs. We have for the last 2 years, so nothing should change. We have a lot of strong players, a lot of kids that want to be there. That's half the battle is to getting them there. But yeah, as long as we develop players and send them off to college or they have a good time, that's all we're worried about.
Great. And so as we keep going here, and just one more question about the hockey club in general, and just your home games. I know they're on Sunday nights. What time are they? I know you guys said you play at the Edge in Bensenville, but just what the schedule is like, how long you guys play, and just stuff like that.
JV is usually at 4:10 on Sundays. Varsity's 5:50 right afterwards. We play pretty much like a 23, 24 game season, then come playoffs plus tournaments. So it goes for a while.
When does the season start for off-ice conditioning and practices and tryouts and stuff like that?
About August.
About late August?
Yeah, late August, mid-August.
And then the playoffs end of March?
Yeah, March.
March, yeah. So they play it Sunday nights. If you want to check out the team and check out this nice fella here, head coach Matt Benton. Hopefully he's not yelling at his players too much if they're down by 5 goals or whatnot.
Yeah.
And but no, they'll probably be winning. You guys look like you have a good club this year. So thank you very much for taking your time
I
out
appreciate
today. We're gonna go to a quick break and then bring out the team and talk to a very special young man named Nick Lemke. You're watching a live broadcast of Renegades Hockey Club here at Villa Park Television.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
And welcome back to a nice round discussion about the Renegades Hockey Club. And right now I'm with president of the club, Doug Eltman. Thanks for coming out today to talk about the club.
Thank
Doug.
you.
And you're the president, so why don't you talk a little bit about the duties of the president and how that helps the club as a whole?
Well, I oversee the board. Then we have 4 board members. And then we have, each school has a school rep. So we meet once a month and we go over the different issues that we might have or the scheduling. And then there's different things that we talk about.
And your son played travel hockey for 9 years. So
Yes.
how does that work, trying to recruit kids? I know since it's not football, or it's easy to recruit kids from the middle schools. But how does that work with your son having teammates in travel hockey and trying to recruit them to play for the Renegades?
Well, through the years, I mean, you make friendships with the kids that they've played with. You get to know some of the kids from the other teams, and you find out what schools that the kids are planning on going to or what high schools they're going to go to. And then you kind of reach out to them as they get into like 8th grade, you start reaching out to them because in their 8th grade, when they graduate, then you have the spring, they can actually come into the high school league and play spring hockey for us. So we do that. The board members reach out to some of the kids. We have the recruiters, or we have our student reps, or not our student reps, our reps for each school. They find out what kids are playing hockey. Plus then we use the kids too, because they've made friends through the years. Most of them all play travel hockey, so they know the kids. And then we just try reaching out to them and try to bring them into high school hockey.
October 19th is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Talk a little bit about what that's going to be like. You're playing Lane Tech, but obviously this game is a lot more than just about hockey.
Yeah, actually my son came up with an idea, and then he put it to the rest of the teammates and everything, and they came up with the idea of we all gonna wear pink jerseys, and then we're gonna sell the T-shirts. We're gonna have breast cancer awareness T-shirts with our logo on it, and then a saying on the back of it. And we're gonna sell the T-shirts at the games, and then the part of the proceeds are going to go to one of the breast cancer awarenesses foundations that we choose. And then we're going to do Chuck a Puck too. So all the money that we make, a portion of it will go to a donation for breast cancer awareness.
And Chuck a Puck, that's pretty interesting. Why don't you talk about a little bit what that is and the people that want to come to the game to do that?
They'll have pucks, and then there'll be a number on the puck. And then during one of the intermissions in between the periods, they'll throw it to the center of the ice with a spot on the center of the ice, and then there'll be a prize that whoever's puck gets closest to it will receive a prize.
Prize, a brand new car?
Yeah, I wish.
Darn, you could probably have gotten a lot of people to do that for that.
Sure,
but,
sure.
Yeah, that sounds great, and I really hope you guys get a big turnout. And breast cancer, it's great that you're just putting awareness about that and having this charity.
Yeah,
great.
it's a good thing. I mean, the NHL is promoting it big now, so as an organization, we feel that we should promote that too.
Well, thank you very much for coming out today.
Thank
and switching gears here, an exceptional young man. We talked about it just before the break. Nick Lemke, thank you very much for coming out today, Nick.
It's an honor to be here.
And Nick is a great defenseman for the Renegades, but more importantly, 10 years old, you experienced an excruciating pain on Halloween night and you got your appendix out, but then something happened. Why don't you talk about that once they looked at the biopsy of the appendix a week later?
What they found in the appendix, they found a cancerous tumor in there, and at 10 years old, I had cancer. So I decided one day, I thought to myself, I'm really lucky to not have that. And I later found out that when I turned 15, it would have been full blown and would have spread the rest of my body, and I probably would not have been doing so well.
Well, you're a fighter, and I'm glad that you lucked out and they found the cancer. But something happened after that. You did something exceptional that I read in the Daily Herald. By the way, if you haven't read that article, check it out. Google it. Nick Lemke, Lombard. Just a great article on the Daily Herald about what happened. But talk a little bit about that. What happened after you found out you had cancer?
After that, I thought to myself, no, I'm really lucky. I want to do something for the kids who aren't so lucky and are still in the hospital fighting this. So I decided to do a toy drive for kids with cancer. That year, I got about 800 toys and I got 4 iPods to give the kids. So I delivered the iPods myself to the worst kids in the hospital, and now I'm still doing that. We're doing a gift card drive now for the teenagers with cancer because they don't get too much stuff in the hospital, and anything they get isn't what they want. So we're going to do gift cards so they can go buy what they want.
The Children's Hospital Central to Page. That's just so awesome that you're doing that. And what is it like when these kids get these toys about just you coming out of your way to do this? What does that mean to them? What have they said to you when you've done this?
They said, thank you. We didn't think that people thought of this that much. People really do care for them.
And that's just great that you've done this every year except for 1 year, and you're going to do it again this year, and that's just great. And I hope a lot of people help them out, get them some toys, because no kid should ever have cancer, and that's just great that you're doing this. And Luke, you're a goalie. Nick helps you out, defenseman try to get the puck out of the zone, but more importantly, just what he's doing. What do you think about this for Nick, going to the Children's Hospital, getting toys?
I think that's really something. I mean, it's crazy that he had such a disease that's so lethal like that, and then here he is, one of the standout defensemen in our organization, helping me out, making my job that much easier.
And just really, really interesting stuff. And back to you, Nick. The Village of Lombard, which is interesting because you're from Villa Park, but the Village of Lombard gave you a Character of Excellence Award at 10 years old. Man, what was that like getting that award?
That was very I thought of it as like, wow, I never thought that it would be this big. I didn't mean for it to get this big. I meant for it to, but I didn't think it would. So it was surprising for me.
It was surprising indeed to get that award, and let's just go back to what happened, and just what kind of pain, what exactly made you make the decision to go to the hospital? Because sometimes you have stomach pain and you're just like, oh, it's just a flu or a stomach flu or whatever. But what kind of pain was this? Why did you know it was different when this happened to you?
Because when you have appendicitis, you can't really walk. The pain is that bad. Like, the way they test for it is they literally have you sit on a ledge and you jump off. And if it hurts when you jump off, stop laughing. And it hurts when you jump off, that means that there's something seriously wrong. And when I jumped off the ledge, my legs buckled and I fell to the floor crying.
Oh my
gosh. It was that bad. And
I'm just glad that you didn't mess around. You went to the hospital and they found it. And I'm just glad that you're here right now, being a hockey player. And let's get into hockey. What does hockey mean to you? Talk a little bit about your career as a hockey player, and of course you talked about earlier about your time with the Renegades, but just hockey in general. Why do you love this game so much?
I love it because it's really the only thing I really like. I've tried every other sport. This is the only sport that really interests me to keep doing. I mean, I can't sit still for too long, so baseball is obviously out of the question. I tried football, didn't really like that. Obviously, I tried wrestling, didn't like that. So I came back to this. I love it. So.
And you've been playing a long time. Why don't you talk a little bit about travel hockey and just what that was like, and just if you're going to play in college, and just hockey in general, just why you want to keep playing until you can't play no more.
I started playing hockey when I was 5. My dad got me into it. I remember my parents had told me that when I was little, I used to literally sit in that little baby bouncer and watch hockey. So that's what they told me. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but then I used to watch my dad play out in the driveway. Used to want to play with him. I'd grab one of his hockey sticks and start swinging around. Almost hit him a few times. Then I got to play when I was 5. Started learning to skate. Kept going up and up until I came here.
And Did you ever play a lot in the street with your friends? Just like that kind of hockey? I know I did when I was a kid.
Not a lot of kids around me play hockey. Not a lot of them know how to skate. So
I meant like roller hockey or street hockey or something
yeah,
like that.
not a lot of them know how to skate or really play, which sucks. But that's why I do travel hockey 7 days a week.
Did you ever embarrass your friends when they'd have floor hockey in PE class?
Yes, a lot.
Do you have any stories about that? How many goals you scored? 10, 20? How many
yeah,
goals was it?
Yeah, it was about 20 one time.
20 goals. Yeah, and you're a defenseman, so you're not supposed to be a goal scorer.
Yeah. So.
And what is it like, defenseman? You know, you guys don't get all the glory as a hockey player, and just what is it like as a defenseman, especially the penalty kill? What do you have to do? What are your kind of duties, and do you have to be a big hitter as a defenseman?
Not necessarily have to be a big hitter. All you have to do is play your position, put your body in the right place, get between the puck and the other person. Get between the puck and the net and the other person. You have to do multiple things at once. So say you're coming in at jeez. I messed up.
No, let's go ahead. Go ahead.
So if you're coming in at 2-on-1,
and you're the defenseman.
Yes, you have to cover the guy without the puck because he's the most dangerous. You have to cover that guy who doesn't have it.
Take away the angle.
Yes, take away the angle.
A shot is going to be on net.
Yes.
But help out your goalie.
Yes, goalie can handle the man with the puck. You have to handle the guy without it.
So, and let's talk about other defensemen here. And we got Alex Wosilus, a sophomore, young kid, and just a little bit more about defensemen. Why do you like the position of defense? You know, you're not supposed to score goals. Why play it?
Well, it's more for a team, not yourself.
Yeah.
Defense. And,
Good answer.
I don't know. Just like it.
Just like it. Do you?
Coach makes you play it too, so.
You're gonna put your coach out like that?
Sure.
You might bench you. And just great stuff. And the Renegades, check them out on Sundays. Great hockey club. Thanks for coming out today. And just great hockey club. Like I said, they represent 4 high schools, including the rival Addison Trail and Willowbrook, but it doesn't seem to bother these kids, and that's just interesting. So thanks for watching this broadcast of the Renegades Hockey Club. I'm Kyle Smith with the rest of the team, and I hope you guys have a great season. Have a good day, everyone.